All right, I thought I'd show you guys a little preview of some of the stuff we can do, we'll be doing in our cohorts for business owners. And just trying to show you, and we're going to do today a financial dashboard kind of process. So, what you're going to do is download Claude for the desktop, right? So, you're going to need the newest version of this. Because we're going to use a new feature, which is called Cowork. So once you've downloaded it, you're going to see this, right? And you're used to seeing the chat interface. It's what very similar to ChatGPT, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to go to this new feature called Cowork. So they also have code. This is a scary one where you have to hook up to GitHub and all this stuff, and people don't like it, right? So we're going to go to Cowork, which they just built. Now I just did this a second ago, so we're going to redo it. So basically, you go up to this top, hit Cowork, and what you're going to see is another kind of chatbot. But what this does is create a virtual machine actually on your computer where it sandboxes everything you're doing, and it hooks you up to one folder at a time. So everything you're doing in Claude Code will be in this folder, and so if anything happened, like a prompt injection, like a security problem, it would only affect that folder, right? And so it keeps it more limited than code would. It also does very big kind of displays, easily looks at what it's doing, so it makes it a lot easier for non-technical users. So anyway, so go to Cowork, works for both Mac and Windows. And what we're going to do is first set up what we call a plugin. So there's a set of things called skills. Think of a skill as a way of doing something, an SOP, standard operating procedure. It's written down and it tells Claude how to do something. So that could be how I analyze financial information or how I analyze it in a dashboard, right? So build it like this for me. Now, Anthropic, who makes Claude, has very helpfully created a set of things called plugins. So plugins are just collections of skills that do, so like for this, I have legal. So a skill might be, hey, triage an NDA, do a vendor check, contract review, something like that. And so a bunch of these together become the legal plugin, right? So I also have finance. So what you want to do is add plugin. Now I obviously already have it hooked up, but you would click here, like for instance, sales. If I want that, I just go and hit install, right? And so what Anthropic did is got I think they use these training companies to hire like a bunch of finance people to do finance work for them so they could study it and build it into a plugin. So anyway, you hook that up, right? This is the manage stuff. So I've already got it in, so I'm just going to go back. So that's at that plus, right? The other thing you want to do is now we got to select the file that we're going to work in. And so that has to be downloaded onto your computer. You can have it be in a synced folder. So you can have like Google Drive or SharePoint as a desktop app that's synced back to the cloud. But you cannot work off of cloud files with Claude Cowork. So just remember that. So you go here, I'm already in it, but you go to choose a different folder if you wanted to, and here's all the files on my computer, right? So connect to whatever you want. I had Claude make up a fictional company called Solder Consulting, and it developed 3 years of financial statements for that company, which are all downloaded in that folder that I'm connected to here, Solder Consulting. So what we're going to do is say, use the finance plugin to build a financial dashboard for Solder Consulting. Now, you could also come into this plugin, and if there was something, I don't love the way they organize this finance plugin because it has like, I don't know, I don't need an income statement. I don't need this. But financial statements, sure. But I'm not doing, these are like accounting tasks. So I'm just going to ask it. So a lot of plugins will have skills that you might actually use. And the reality is what we're doing with people in the cohorts and for clients where we're doing implementation projects is we're building these skills and plugins for them. So you don't have to just use Anthropic's, right? You can build your own. And actually you can just have them in the folder too, in a skill file. So you don't even need this part, right? So anyway, we're going to do that and it's going to say, let's go, and you'll see how it works here. So it kind of opens this up and it says, hey, I'm building a financial dashboard for consulting. And it's going to ask me a few questions about the company. Now, the more I define in that skill, like if I had said, make this dashboard exactly like this, it probably wouldn't ask me these questions because it would already kind of know what I'm after. But now it's using a general plugin. So probably within that plugin somewhere, it's like, hey, find out this, a couple of details about this company. Okay. Okay, so now we can see it working here. It actually so the one problem with Cowork is it can be slow. It's a new product, so it can take a while. So here I had to restart it. Basically, I had it up here. It just kept hourglassing, so I just stopped it with this and then asked it again. And now you can see it said, hey, let me check the financial data available in this folder. Great, I have all the financial data, and it's going to ask me a few questions about it here in a second. Okay, so it was working for a little while, and it's probably 3 minutes. So this is great. Cowork's great for starting something. You can go off and read your email or something like that, right? So as it said, it looked at all the financial data and then said, hey, I'll build a full interactive dashboard. Last time I did this, actually, let's see, in the last, it asked me questions, which, let's see if we can see them here. Yeah, so it asked me what industry would I classify it in. It asked me about some officer compensation, what my total payroll was, and whether it was direct or indirect, and whether I was what kind of entity I was. So interestingly, this time, it did not ask that. And I think that's a learning. We don't have a really specified skill here. We have a general plugin. So it's actually going to vary what it does each time. Of course, AI a little bit does that all the time, but if you have a very step-by-step, hey, I want the dashboard to look like this, ask these questions, it will follow that, right? But we didn't have that. So if we go to the bottom here, it built a financial dashboard, and we can look at it here. And I can say, so as you can see, it gives me revenue, gross profit, net income, cash position. Oh, it's giving me a warning. Despite this revenue growth, your net income dropped 62%. Doesn't sound very good, right? So it's showing me here how my gross margin and net margin are collapsing. It's showing me year over year, and then I can click through here to see profitability graphs, expenses, AR aging, cash flow. I mean, this is pretty amazing, right? I just use those files and the skill to build this. Now, of course, I'm like, hey, I want to see it this way. That way I can change the skill file here. I can just start talking, hey, let's build a skill that'll be in the Solder financial dashboard, or whatever I can't remember the folder name, Solder Consulting, to specify how I want it to be. And in this code, like up here, you can do monthly, quarterly. And then I can say, hey, I don't want, this is a web artifact here, right? So I can't send it to anybody. So I say, save this as a PDF. And then once it's done, I could download it and email it. Or if I went here and connected my Gmail connector, and actually you need probably you have to go through Zapier to do this because it's read only. But if I had the Zapier hooked up, which I do, I can say, hey, email this to Dave at whatever.com. And at the end, it would create the PDF and email it to him. So that's the kind of stuff we do in the cohort where we're training, and we help build this for companies in our implementations. And it's really, this is just one example of how you can make any process in your company executable through using skills, plugins, and then using Claude. And to be honest, now the skill in a plugin is open. So I could, tomorrow, if I wanted to use OpenAI's Codex instead of Anthropic's Claude, all those files are readable in Codex as well, because they sit here in that Solder Consulting folder, or on my Gmail, or on my Google Drive, or SharePoint. So they're mine, right? And I can use them with any LLM. So it's really, I think this is where we're going. Companies are going to be essentially a graph of plugins and skills, and that'll just show you for across finance, sales, marketing, operations, admin. You're going to see just a collection of skills. That's what each of those functions is, which will become increasingly automated and connected through those connectors I showed you to any other outside software program you need to pull data from or put data into. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed it.